Hey everyone, it's Dana here with Love Sola Flowers. We are going to do a stem wrap today. If you are in our group, it's facebook.com/groups/Love Sola Flowers. I did post a stem wrap last night. It's called like a knot tie stem wrap, and a lot of you wanted to see it, so I thought I would jump on and come show you how to do that. We did miss a couple of our Thursday night tutorials because my house is under renovation and I have just this little bitty spot here that I'm able to work in. So sorry about those of you who expect Thursday nights and even Friday nights, but I did want to jump on because I have a moment now. I cleared enough space to jump on and share a stem wrap, and I wanted to do it on this bouquet I just made. I just made this bouquet. It's a tropical style bouquet, but it has a nice long stem, so I'm going to be able to really show you and you can see it clearly. So we are going to do a satin stem wrap for this. It's a special type of stem wrap. It's not just the normal wrappy wrap. Hey Callie. And so I'll just wait for some people to come on. We did want to remind you our sale is still going on lovesolaflowers.com. It was our Mother's Day sale. It's up to 70% off. You do not need a code. Everything is discounted to the max that it's going to be discounted for now. So you can just go shop there. Again, that's lovesolaflowers.com if you are new to our page. Hi, Nancy. That sale's going on, and what's really great about it is that we restocked a bunch of flowers. Our new beauty in both sizes are back in, as well as our belly. So if you needed to grab those, you can. We restocked them while the sale is still going on. So you can get those and get them on sale, which is always fun. So again, that's lovesolaflowers.com if this is your first time joining us on a live. If you are not part of our community group, that again is facebook.com/groups/lovesolaflowers. You get to share, you get to ask questions. A lot of times we receive private messages on our customer service, and we can't answer all the detailed questions, or maybe I don't know everything about, what the question is. So in that group, hey Trish, in that group, it's the best place to ask all your questions about anything. And plus, a lot of things like dyeing and glycerins and boutonnieres and corsages and all that stuff has already been asked in our group. So you can find out everyone's opinion on everything in there. And there's a search button in our group that you can search basically any topic that you can think of when it has to do with Sola. And it comes up and you will see what everybody thinks about it. So please join our community group if you haven't. It's a fun group, an encouraging group, and we really get to share all of our work. Again, if you are just joining us before I start the stem wrap, our Mother's Day sale is still on, and it is up to 70% off. And we did restock a bunch of flowers. So if you were looking and the flower that you wanted was out of stock, it may be there. So check it out again. We definitely restocked the new beauties and the bellies. So if you needed those, you can grab those while the sale is still going on. So I am going to do a satin stem wrap on this. Again, this is a nice long stem, so I wanted to show you on it. It's a very big bouquet, if you want to see. That's why the stem is so long. But usually, their stems aren't necessarily this long, but because this is a very big bouquet on top, the stems have to be balanced out. So I have, hi Sarah, I have a 2-inch satin ribbon. Something important, for me it's important, when you buy satin ribbon, make sure it's 2-sided, because if you get satin ribbon that is matte on one side and it's like a not finished side, sometimes it's harder to do some of these extra special types of wraps, because sometimes if you have to knot something, and then you don't have to worry about if you got it twisted or not, because both sides are finished. Okay, so this is a 2-sided satin ribbon. It's 2 inches, okay, and it's a teal color, obviously. And I got the same brand because I wanted the same color. And this is a 5/8 inch. So it's nice and skinny, because again, this is going to be what ties down. If you weren't in the group and you didn't see what we were making, it might sound confusing right now, but you'll see by the end of this tutorial what we're talking about. But this is a 5/8 size, so it's nice and thin. So it was the 2-inch, and I did the same color. You do not have to do the same color. In fact, a lot of times I like to use different colors, but this one I wanted monochromatic. So I did the same colors for both of them. You could do a white with, the teal, whatever. You can do whatever colors you want, really. Any combination, have it match your bouquet, have it match your wedding dress, whatever way you want to do it. But this is a 2-inch double-sided and a 5/8 inch double-sided as well. They are satin, and I'm going to show you how I wrap. Satin is very tricky because it bunches and it makes bubbles and it's very not easy, but I have a way to do it where it is a foolproof kind of a way to do it. So I'm just going to spin my spool out just a little bit to start. And what I'm going to do is I always start at the top, because I do a 2-layer system. So I start at the top because I want to end at the top, okay? Because you can hide it up under your flowers that way. So I start at the top, and I start, always by double-sided, yes. And I start at the back. So I'm gonna put some glue. I have my glue, my bouquet is pretty big, so I put my glue gun on the floor. So I'm just gonna put a blob of glue on the back of my bouquet at the top. So I'll show you that when I go back up here. So, just because I don't have a ton of room on my little table. I don't have a kitchen table even right now. My whole house is getting renovated. So as you can see, well, maybe you can't see the blob because it's clear, but there's a blob of glue up at the top, and I'm going to put it, again, I don't have to worry about what side I put down because this is a double-sided satin. So again, it just makes life easier to not have to worry. So I put that there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it. Now I'm not gonna worry and stress out too much for the first round, okay? Because this is the trick that I do. Let me just turn you a little bit here. So I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to spin it around. Now when I get a little lower, it's gonna be easier for you to see. I'm just gonna spin around, and you will see that even mine is kind of bunchy and a mess, okay? You will see it is not smooth, but don't worry. Now this is why I've come up with a system. It looks like I'm like hiding under a palm tree. This is why I've come up with a system to make it where it's foolproof, because I could never get it where it was flat. So again, I'm just gonna keep spinning. Okay. Let me just pull some more out. I never cut my ribbon ahead of time because God forbid I need extra and then I don't have it. I don't want to start over again, waste all that ribbon. So again, let me just keep showing. I'm going to go all the way down. I go down on a slant, and again, it's bunchy. I'm going to show you how bunchy it is in a second, okay? So look how bunchy it is. It is a mess, okay? But this is where we fix everything up. So I'm at the bottom, and I'm just going to put a dab of glue on that spot just to hold it there. And then this is the magical part. So I have my glue there. Now this is where I'm gonna come back up, okay? Now, I am gonna cut it now because I know how much I need to go back up. These are not the best ribbon scissors, just so you know. I don't have a good ribbon scissor. If anyone knows of really good ribbon scissors, shout me out here because I don't have the good ones. Okay. So now I've got this. Now this is where I'm going to pull super, super tight. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to just pull tight, and I'm just going to go over those blobs. My messy satin, it won't even matter. When you go up the second time, you're just going to make sure you're pulling tight. And you're just going to go right over those messy marks, okay? It's not really easy to hold it to the side, but I'm trying to do this so you guys can see it clearly, okay? It's hard to pull tight when you're not holding it straight up and down, but you're going to want to end on the back, okay? So I'm going to do one more around. All right. Okay. I just want to make sure I've got all my blobs out. Okay. So now that I'm on the back, because you usually end, it just works this way. You end where you start, right? So now that I'm at the back, but my front's not fully covered yet, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another dab of glue here. I'm gonna put a dab of glue and I'm gonna show you again. Okay. So you have the dab of glue. Okay, hi Emery. I'm gonna put my end there. Again, this is why it's important to do double-sided, because now I'm gonna take it and it's gonna be like crisscrossed. Like, can you see that? Here, let me show you. So do you see how I actually flipped it? It's like that, but I flip it so that it goes straight across the top because I don't want it to be at an angle. So I flipped it and I can just come around the top. To finish it back off at the end, at the back, okay? So I went all the way down and all the way back up. When I finish a side, I always cut it at a slant. I feel like an end should look nice. If you're gonna do it, you know, on a rounder bouquet, obviously your end can get like tucked up high under the leaves. But this is a flat one, so it's gonna not really be hidden, but we're gonna do something over it, okay? So now I've got a nice smooth wrap. Oh, Elsie, it cuts ribbon. I'm gonna sneeze. I have like pampas grass or something in my house and it's making me sneeze like all day. That might be a good thing if anyone saw that. I just need a better ribbon cutting thing. But anyway, you can see how smooth it is now. The shine, it doesn't make it look like it, but I swear it is. It's smooth. So again, we started in the back, we went all the way down, then we went all the way back up, okay? So we didn't care the first time down if it was like lumpy clumpy because we were just gonna come back real tight and do it up there. But now we're gonna do, and that's how I do all of my satin stem wraps. Now, of course, you can leave it like this, okay? Because it's nice and smooth. There's no more bumps. I don't know how many I've done that I've totally destroyed the stems and have done it like I had to do for like an hour. Like it took me longer to do the stem wrap than it did to make the stupid bouquet. And this way, when you do it going down and then back up again, you're always smooth because you're worried about your clumps going down, but not the other way. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little knot tie. You want to give yourself a lot of ribbon because what you don't want to have happen is you to run out again. So again, this doesn't have to be the same color. This could be a different color. Of course, you can do different colors, but this one I'm going to keep monochromatic and just do the same color and have it kind of blend in, but give it a little, zhuzh. Okay, so I'm going to find my center point. Okay, I'm gonna find my center point. I'm telling you guys, everyone who has problems with satin wrapping stems and it being bunchy, you will never, ever, ever learn a different way to do this because it is the foolproof way. Because trust me, I was having trouble with it like my whole time too. And it was the only way that I can get it smooth was to go all the way down and back up again. So I promise you, give it a try if you feel like you have trouble. Okay, so now I'm gonna knot and I'm gonna try to do this on from my view. I'm going to hope to center it so you guys can still see it. I'm going to put a drop on the center, drop of hot glue on the center of my little ribbon. And I'm going to go right to the center of the back of my bouquet and glue that piece right there. So I'm going to pull my ends on both sides. I am going to tilt it towards you guys, don't worry. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to do this on the side and still be centered. I might have to like stand up to make sure I'm centered. If you're just joining us again, our Mother's Day sale is still going on and that is on lovesoloflowers.com. It is up to 70% off. You don't need a code. And if you were missing some flowers, we did do a big restock. So new beauties and both sizes are back and same with the bellies. So don't get frustrated if you didn't see it then. I'm gonna have to make my first knot. Can you see that? No. Okay, let me try to do this on the side. I'm gonna see if I can tie knots on the side. So what I'm gonna do is I put that little glue on the back and I'm gonna do a tie down. So I'm backwards here because I'm doing this to the side. Okay, so I'm going to do a tie down, and I'm going to pull it nice and tight. Now I just want to make sure it's in the center. Okay, let me make sure before I tie it off. Okay, this is good enough to the center. Okay, so I'm going to do one, like, you know, when you start, you know, a knot when you start like your shoelaces. And we're just going to do it again, like a double. Okay, now what I'm going to do before I pull it down, I want to make sure that nothing is twisted and that that knot on the bottom is tight. So I'm going to pull it tight and then pull mine fast, okay? So I did a double knot, okay? Now, when I pull these to the back, I want to make sure they are nice and flat. So I'm going to pull this one side, I leave it flat and pull it towards the front. Okay, then this is going to go to the back and I'm going to pull it towards the front this way. Okay, and I want to make sure it's not twisted because we don't want the back of our handle to be a complete mess either. And I'm going to knot it off. Hi, Ashley Joyner. I'm going to knot it off again. So I did mine, and then I'm going to do the double. And again, right before I tighten it down, I'm just going to make sure that my knot underneath is nice and tight, and then I pull. Okay? So then I got another knot. I'm just going to follow along the same thing. They each go towards the back, so they'll crisscross in the back, but they'll be nice and flat. Let me make sure I'm centering these. When I'm doing it on the side, it's a little bit difficult to center it, but this also helps if you're not a master at smoothing down your thing yet, because it will cover, hi Maria, it will cover a lot of those issues, okay? I'm sorry that I'm stuck here and my house is like a crazy mess. We have, I'm renovating my kitchen, so that's why you haven't seen me on Thursday nights, but I wanted to jump on here because I haven't been on this last week, so I wanted to just come on and show you guys how to do this. Yes, Abby, it's so easy. Okay, and I'm going to show you how you can embellish it a little bit. Again, you're going to want to make sure your knots are going straight down in a row. Yeah, Tracy, I bought little peanut butter cups too. They were like mini peanut butter cups, and I like made my own. I put like peanuts and M&Ms all together. So any of you who've gone through any renovations knows why we all need chocolate in our life sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to do another knot. Again, I want to make sure that I am having my knots even. And spaced appropriately. This little piece, 1 second, got tucked. I'm just going to glue this little side down because it got pulled when I did that one above it. So I'm just going to glue that down. Okay, and then I'm going to do my knot again. Okay. I'm going to show you how to finish it off in a second. Okay, so this is the last one. So I'm going to end with a knot down here at the bottom. Again, now you could also have this, well, I'm going to show you the 2 ways you can finish it off, okay? So first, let me make my last knot. Okay. I got a little glue web there. Okay, so let me just show you how it looks. Again, if it wasn't too, if you had 2 different colors, obviously you could see the knotting a little bit more extreme. But I don't know if I always love that. Sometimes I like the knotting just to blend itself in. Okay, and then let me show you the back. So the back did crisscrosses. Look how nice the back looks even, okay? So if you make sure that you're, crisscrossing in the back nicely too, you'll have a nice view from both sides. So I have some glue strings I need to pull off though. Okay, so you can leave these ribbons hanging down okay? And just leave them like this, where it ends, which is pretty. But if you don't want that to happen, what you need to do is we're gonna take it around the back the same way we did the other. And we're going to do a glue on each side, okay? So let me see if I want to have these ribbons cut off or not. I might want to keep mine. Let's see. Let me see if it looks okay with the, let's cut them. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to cut them. All right, so I'm gonna take my glue gun, get it ready here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift it up and I'm gonna slide it around the back and I'm gonna put a touch of hot glue. I'm gonna take this side and I'm gonna cross it over. So I'm gonna put this over here. Cross it over, put the glue on the back, right in the center. How would you do the middle of this one? Rainy, I'm trying to picture what you're meaning. You want to wrap it with twine. Oh, well then you mean like start it in the middle as opposed to starting it at the top? Well, you would just wrap it all the way down with the twine. And then, I'm just finishing this off, making it nice and sealed before I cut it. And then you literally can just start your knot because the back is clean because it's just the back of the ribbon. So it wouldn't look like weird to do that. You can start it wherever you want to start it and it's fine. So I'm just gonna put a dab of glue. Again, you can leave it, you can put it into a bow at the bottom or you can leave it, you know, hanging. Sometimes if I make a glue blob, I just rub the hot tip of my glue gun on it and it takes it away. Sometimes your finger makes it a little bit more blobby. No, you can't see it through it, but sometimes I get glue on the satin and like I was just saying, I take the hot tip and I just rub it against it and it remelts it. So let me just make sure all my things are not twisted here. Because that's the important part too, is just making sure you're not twisted. Again, the back is not, you know, as important as the front. If you see like a little loose spot, you could always glue it, but you don't actually see the glue dots. And I think I don't glue each knot, so you don't see, you know, that as well. Obviously, lace is easier, it doesn't show any type of glue. You could actually do this same wrap with lace. I'm just getting rid of this glue bob. Again, if you have a glue blob, you can take the tip of your gun and just rub it on it and it takes it away because it melts it. So let me just show you again up close what it looks like. It's very, very easy and it's the best because it covers up all the boo-boos of it being difficult to do satin. So I'm looking at you through underneath here. But so again, it's just knots. You're making sure it's centered. After, again, the satin wrap, always start at the top, go down and go back up again. It's the best way to not worry about those bumps. Otherwise, it's crazy. And actually, a second layer of fabric is not always a bad thing. It kind of beefs up the handle. Plus, it covers up any green tape. You know, you're never worried about that. I've got this going on. Now, let me just show you something else you can do. Okay? Now, if you saw the one in the group, let me just show you. You can use pearls. So these are boutonniere pins, okay? And some people use the pearls. These are rhinestones. You can use either one. You can find all sorts of boutonniere pins. So let me just show you something, another trick you can do. There's a few things you can do. When I do pearls, I like to do the pearl right on the knot. So what you would do is you take your pin. Okay, let me just, my clipper. Here's my clipper. Okay, you're gonna take your pin. Just be careful because it'll hurt, okay? If you step on it. So I'm gonna take my pin and you cut it down because you don't want it to be a long pin part because then it will go through the bouquet and it will be on your hand, whoever's holding it, which is not a fun thing. So you can take your pin now that it's short, okay? Again, this is a rhinestone, but you can do pearls. You can either press them in your knot, and that'll hold your knot still, or you can do it directly in the center of each knot, and that will hold the ribbon behind it in a nice tight way. So again, you can take this little pin that you make, and you literally just press it through into the middle of the bouquet. Again, we made it short so that it's not going to go through and into someone's finger. Make sure you do that. And again, you can line it with pearls on each knot. You can line it with the rhinestones on each knot. I'll show you one just as an example. So do you see how then it holds that knot in place? Again, you can do rhinestones, you can do pearls. They come in all different colors. These are called Boutonniere pins. If you do like a search, these are from Amazon. You can do like a search for anything, like pins with a, you know, opalescent jewel. I don't know, whatever. You can literally, you know, search anything. But there's, again, with the rhinestone right in the knot. Again, you can do pearls. You don't need to glue. It is, Christy, it's even hard to get in there, so it's not going to fall out. In fact, I'm going to pull this one out, and it's not so easy to do that. So again, let me show you again. You could do, I don't want to mess up the ribbon because I'm actually not going to use these for this bouquet, but you can just find the center between the knots, and you can press a pearl or a rhinestone between each knot. So you can do each knot. You can do that. If you want to do a button or something like that, you can certainly clip the back and you can just glue them on. I like the pins because it actually holds the knot in place so that when, you know, if a bride isn't paying attention and they're sliding their hands up and down the stem cover, then you're gonna like sometimes move those if you didn't tie it tight. But these guys hold it in place. Super elegant looking that way too. And again, you can get all different colors and styles. Again, if you do the knots in a different, you could do white and red. You know, you could do all the different colors. Again, I kind of like the monochromatic where it's the same color in the back as it is in the front, just because it makes it, it gives it texture, but it doesn't like draw attention to it. So it's like, you know, it kind of is the background, but it gives it a cool look, as you can see the knots. And again, you can always put some jewels or anything fun on that. You can tie a bow here, let it hang, or you can even add a bow to your top one by just slipping it through the knot and making a bow up here. So you can actually add ribbons and bows even on top of here by just sliding your ribbon through that knot underneath it, pulling it out and knotting it off, and then you can have the ribbons coming from the top of your bouquet as well. There's so many things we can do. Maybe I'll do like a few more sessions of stem wrapping. If I get any interesting ones, any requests, I can show you some other ways too. But I just wanted to show you this one because we happen to post it in our group, which is facebook.com/groups/lovesoloflowers. And some people were asking how to do it, and it's the best way for beginners to cover up some of those little bumpies that, you know, we all have. Trust me, satin is very hard to work with, getting it nice and smooth, but if you do it this way, I promise you no one will ever know that you're not a professional. That was it. So again, our sale is up to 70% off. It's still going. I've got to de-glue myself. I've got glue going on everywhere. It's still going, and you don't need a coupon code for that. And we restocked the flowers, so if there were flowers that you wanted to get on this sale that you didn't see the other day, we have restocked, so go check them out. New Beauty's back, Belly's back, some of your favorites are back, and you can get those again for the sale price as well. And that's lovesoloflowers.com. You can search all our different tabs. We now have the faux filler and the preserved and dried filler, and those are in the filler tab, and you can separate them out. We have supplies, which is stem covers, which I use for every single one of my bouquets. That goes right over your wire, so you don't have to worry about trying to cover those. And of course, we have all the different divisions of our solo flowers. We have premiums, Fifth Avenues. We have the skin, which is a little bit of the bark, and we have our raw, and they are all on sale, up to 70% off. So go check that out on lovesoloflowers.com. Have a great weekend for the rest of the night, and I hope everyone starts their Monday morning tomorrow bright and shiny and ready for a whole new week. And hopefully we'll see you later on during the week. If not, I will come back on the weekend this next week. All right, guys, have a wonderful night.